Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Great.
We did a podcast years ago. Do you remember that?
Like, kind of.
In the Brasserie.
Okay, I was going to say, it was at the Braz, right?
It was before Elijah was born.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really? I'll have to go back and listen. I wonder what I said. It's probably fucking stupid.
I don't think it's out there anymore.
Oh,
I think I
good.
deleted
It's probably for the best.
Right, yeah.
I mean, no. I don't know.
I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see how far I've come, if I have at all.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been there for 6 years?
Yeah, 6.5. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, sometimes I look back and I was 22 when I signed the lease.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, that was the stupidest fucking thing that I ever did. But I feel like I went in like very naive, or not naive, but just, I don't know, like I don't know what I know now, obviously, because I don't know if I would have done it.
Yeah.
But I'm opening another place. So like I would have probably. Yeah. So, but yeah, almost 7 years. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, I know obviously a little bit of like the backstory. So, your family comes from food service.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the golf course? Tanner Valley?
No, Tuscarora.
Tuscarora.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like out in Marcellus area.
Yeah.
My mom was there for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did your dad own it?
No.
No. Okay.
So my dad owned the Georgia Days on Tip Hill.
Yeah.
He owned that for 20 years. And then so he did that. My mom used to work in customer service at AT&T when it was like downtown.
Okay.
For like 15 years, and then she kind of just was like, I'm done with this. Mm-hmm. So then they put in for the golf course and they got it. So she ran the golf course and he ran the bar.
Okay.
My family, we kind of like, I don't know if compartmentalize is the word, but it kind of is. Like we split our duties within the family.
Yeah.
So he was always O'Day's, and then she did the golf course. And then when I graduated, I went to school for business. Mm-hmm. And when I graduated, Township 5 was being built. And she was like, hey, because golf courses are really hard because it's seasonal. So it's like 7 months of like 18-hour days and then 5 months of nothing.
Yeah.
So she was like, I don't want it. She's like, she liked it, but she was like, I don't want to continue to do this forever.
Yeah.
And so that was being built, and she was like, are you interested in putting together a business plan and thinking about going in together? And I was like, yeah, sure. Run my own restaurant at 22. Sure.
What were you thinking that you were going to do before that?
Well, I went to school for business, obviously, management. I really thought that I was going to be like a New York business lady.
Yeah.
With like the pantsuit in the...
Like New York City or... Like,
Yeah. I did get an internship for like a humanitarian organization out in California.
Oh, cool.
Like as we were opening the restaurant.
Oh,
so
wow.
I really had to decide like what path I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I was really, still am, but when you own your own business, it's kind of hard to give back. But when I had graduated college, I was like really pushing for, to work in like for-profit businesses that also give back. So kind of like Tom's Shoes. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It was like so yeah, I always thought that I was going to be like in management in a big city. Now I'm here in Syracuse still. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's different when you grow up in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Like you forget, like I live in a suburb now.
Right.
But like Syracuse has so much to offer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just.
Yeah. What high school did you go to?
Ludden.
Did you?
Ludden.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I always think you're so much older than you are.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm 29.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to be 30. I feel like it's, I don't know why mentally turning 30 is really hard because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I guess I thought I would have so much more at 30. But I'm like, wait, I do have a lot.
Yeah.
But life just is crazy being like a business owner and a single mom and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Trying to see the forest through the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, Yeah, but, you know, 29 was harder than 30 because I was thinking about 30. And
Yeah.
So 25 was really rough. 25 was really rough for me. I was like, holy fuck, I'm 25 years old. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, 29 leading up to 30 was really rough.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, my 30s are coming. Like, what the fuck have I done with my life?
Right.
You
Right.
know?
I think I was pregnant when I was 25.
Really?
I had just, yeah. Or like a couple months after I turned 25, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 25 was
Yeah.
a hard year.
Was a hard year.
Surprise. Yeah, but I just think I'm like thinking about it and I'm like, man, I feel like you can't have fun anymore when you're 30. But you did, but like obviously you can. I know a million people that are 30 and 40 and 50 and they all have fun all the time.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
in my own head.
I'm here to say that you can't. That you're fucked.
Well, I'm like, even if I go out, like, where did we just go? Oh, me and like my family, we got a bus to the Bills game.
Nice.
And which was awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was out for like a whole day after drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't hang anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
It's,
Yeah, that kind of stuff definitely gets harder as you get older, without a doubt.
yeah.
I forget what Russell Crowe has. That famous actor has some like brilliant tip for it. I forget what it is. It's essentially tequila and water. You just walk around drinking like a 20-ounce bottle that has like 3 shots of tequila and the rest is water all day. 'Cause
Interesting.
Then you stay hydrated while you're getting hammered.
Yeah.
And then the next day isn't bad.
What? Yeah. That's what I've heard. That's what my cousin drinks. She like literally only drinks tequila and water.
Really?
Yeah. And she's like a professional drinker. She works at Coleman's. So I feel like I should just take the tip, but I don't know. I don't know.
My wife will do definitely like a big glass of water in between drinks. Or she'll dilute her wine, like half of the glass is water, half of it's wine.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like,
And she'll pound like 3 or 4 bottles. No, I'm just kidding. But she'll drink, but if she has a bottle, if we're like hanging with, whatever.
Yeah. I don't drink enough water anyways, because I just drink coffee.
Yeah.
I drink like 12 cups of coffee a day.
Wow.
Yeah. My doctor was like, please stop doing that. But, so I can't even drink water while I'm.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it does. You definitely, I don't know, being 30, I don't know if 30s are so much different if it's just like life in general. Because, 31, I was like in a relationship with my wife. We were already talking about getting married when when we first started dating, basically.
Oh, okay.
And
wait,
then,
how old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't turn 35.
Yeah.
It is weird. So that's one thing I was talking about with Abigail last night is just like getting older and, when you're younger, when I was younger, I kind of looked at everything as like, I can do it all. Like I can have everything I want. And then becoming older, you realize that it's really about like just choosing that path.
Yeah.
For
sure.
And you were kind of like, there was a sense of regret for, okay, I could have moved to California.
Yeah.
And had that life. And it's possible to still do those things, but when you get older, you kind of don't want to jump around anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of want to have a little bit of that stability.
Yeah, stability for sure.
Yeah.
I think that in the first couple of years when we opened the restaurant, I was like, I should have just fucking went to California because it was really hard.
I bet.
But then I had Elijah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this was meant to happen. And I don't really ever feel like I have those regrets anymore. But I do sometimes. I'm like, I have to like remind myself that there's still like possibilities.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Right,
It's like a whole weird thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, listen, my brother, who's in his late 30s, married, both him and his wife have demanding jobs. And they have 3 kids that are like under the age of 3.
That's crazy.
And I was on the phone with him the other day and he was like, if you had told me 10 years ago that this is what life would be like, I would never would have done this.
I know. What's the worst is like the Facebook memories or like the Instagram memories. Where it's like 4 years ago, you were hammered at noon on a Sunday because you didn't have any responsibilities.
Yeah.
And now you're potty training your
Right.
brat 3-year-old. Like, okay, great. Thank you, Facebook.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. So do you, I mean, well, you can't regret it. I mean, because not only is the Brasserie really successful,
Yeah.
you've arrived officially. Let me be the first to say the Brasserie has made it. But you're, opened up a second one.
Yeah.
And you have opened up a second one. And,
Yeah.
now you're doing another one. So.
Yeah. I think that it's just really hard. But plus everybody likes to complain about their job, but I don't regret it for a second. I love what I do. I love being in the restaurant business. And I really love business and like being creative. So I don't regret it at all. I just think sometimes it's just really hard.
Yeah.
And because I started young, like what you said, like when you're younger, you think you can do it all.
Yeah.
Where now as I get older, I'm like, I don't like, even if I could, which I can't do it all, but even if I could, I don't want to. Like, so I'm like better delegating things, which I think is now allowing me to open a second place. Although going from being the person that does everything and doesn't ask for help to delegating, that shift has been really hard for me. Not hard like emotionally to like let go of the reins or whatever, because some of the stuff I'm like, just fucking take it. But figuring out like how to come into this new role where before it was kind of just like me and then employees, where now it's like I need to like build the business up so that we can function properly. It's harder. But I am still youngish. So like that's the goal. Like I'm on the path to where I want to go. Like I don't think that this next place will be the last place that I open. So
what is that goal? Is it to have Roesch Restaurant Group?
Yeah. I think I go back and forth a lot about like my vision, because I think when I first started, I wanted to kind of turn the Brasserie into a brand that had like several locations, like trying to think, like Bull and Bear, I guess, has a couple of Tully's has a lot. I don't know if I would ever want to do that, but now I really like the thought of having like different concepts, and then also like partnering with like other local entrepreneurs to bring new things to Syracuse. So I think that's probably where we're going to go, is that we do different concepts. And instead of having like 10 brasseries, I have like 5 different things.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I eventually want to get to a point where we're profitable enough to start to like actually really be philanthropic and give back to the community. It's really, I mean, before the pandemic, we were very close to being able to like do stuff like that. But obviously the past almost 2 years has set us way back.
Wasn't really that bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. No. But I think like just to be in a place where my employees are receiving the appropriate compensation and the appropriate benefits, and then we're able to like make an impact in the community is the reason that I got into business. Because I think that without your community, your business doesn't survive.
For sure.
So you have to take care of your community.
Yeah.
Like you can't just take and take and take.
Right.
And put it in your pocket. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. That sounds, it's a lot like, I was just talking to somebody who interviewed at Oh My Darling, and they interviewed with Ryan and Benz, who him and Leanne are the owners of that, and Luna Loca. And
oh yeah, I forget about it.
the person was saying that Ryan was talking about the growth in the restaurants and the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
But in light of expanding and growing the community in the city of Syracuse, and not just saying, oh, we want to have another Oh My Darling in Fayetteville or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But just talking about like how their business is going to positively impact the city.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty interesting to hear. You know, you do see, I mean, you know, the Syracuse and the surrounding areas are changing quite a bit. And, you know, not only just with better, smarter businesses, restaurants, you know, really specific. Like, I can't say enough great things about Three Lives. I've never seen a restaurant in our area, especially, that has been better branded across every single platform. Like every single thing that they do is in line with their brand.
Yeah.
And so they're doing a really great job. You know, Kyle is opening up so many new restaurants. You know, you're doing something new. I always forget there's somebody else. I was blank on this, who's opening up multiple new restaurants. You know, just people are doing cool stuff. And, you know, you had the first ghost kitchen in Syracuse. So, you know, there's just things that are really evolving in the city that are really cool to see. Like, I've drive around downtown and I'm like, I see the way it sounds, you know, really superficial, but I see the way some people are dressed that are walking around. I'm like, what's somebody like that doing living here? Like, I don't think people like that came here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I definitely think Syracuse has like a lot of potential, and the CNY does. I do feel like we're a little bit behind, but like you said, I think there's a lot of like new upcoming owners for the restaurant industry and the entertainment industry that are like ready to invest in Syracuse. And I definitely think that that's really cool to see. Since we opened 6 years ago and I kind of came into the industry, the changes that have been made are like crazy. So I do think Syracuse has a lot of potential. It's just gotta get the right. We have to have people that want to continue to like make people want to come here, or like university students stay here, and like stuff like that. So that's what Believe in Syracuse originally started out as, was a way to try and get the SU students graduating Syracuse to like stay and intern and stuff like that. So, So, I mean, let's talk about employee benefits and wages. Fun. Okay.
So are you under the belief, I mean, you know, we were talking about it off podcast, but, you know, you all treat your staff better than most, better than I'd say 95% of the owners in Syracuse. And I know a lot of them and but no one that I've ever met in this city, so it's not even 95%. I've never met a restaurant owner who takes better care of their staff than you do.
Thank you.
From the parties you do to the organization, of the business. You know, I've walked in and seen people stressed when you guys are busy, but I've never seen somebody like pissed off and angry to be there, you know? And, so, but do you feel that restaurant workers should be paid more?
I mean, the front of the house, I think the whole structure of the way that the restaurant industry is built is kind of crazy. But I do think that the front of the house, bartenders and servers, the tips that they make are good. So, but at least for me, I don't have any front of the house that works over 30 hours a week. So they're making $25, $30 an hour, but they're working 30 hours less than. So, but the hours are hard. I mean, it's from 4 to 11 p.m. It's not like a normal 9 to 5 job. I definitely think that for me, what I do to take care of my front of the house staff is not pay them more, but make sure that we have people that are coming through the door. Make sure that we're staffing properly so that they can give good service. Make sure that we're turning tables, that we have events so that people want, like, that's where I work diligently to take care of the front of the house so that the tips that they're receiving can support them.
Yeah.
The back of the house, I definitely think has always been underpaid.
Yeah.
Just industry wide. I think for us, the pandemic really like opened our eyes to that. But the profit margin in a restaurant is just so low that there's really no, like, it's just really hard to meet those numbers. And I spent hours and hours and hours like researching living wage and here in the county and like trying to figure out all of that stuff so that I could make sure that I was taking care of them, and sitting down with them and seeing what their needs were. We're about to start offering benefits, which I think is really important, because it's another way that we can take care of our employees without having to give more money per hour.
It's costing you more.
Because it costs us, more. So, like, it's giving them more without costing. I mean, it costs us more.
Right.
But it's just trying to find, like, what their needs are. And everybody's needs are different. So it was really hard. So, like, when we were sitting down to try and figure out what our benefits package were, and we looked at just who we had on staff, like, everybody's needs are different.
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to provide for somebody who has a son and a wife who has the benefits and their son's out of college, and then somebody who has a 2-year-old and their wife doesn't work? Like, you know what I mean? So it's so crazy to try and provide benefits that are inclusive of everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
But the fact that Nora and I sat down for hours and hours and hours and tried to figure it out, I feel like is a good step, in the right direction for how we want to continue to grow our business and run our business.
How'd the staff respond to the benefits?
Our meeting's next week to go over what we have to offer them. I mean, I hope that it's positive. I think that it will be.
Yeah.
But you never know what somebody's going to take, I guess, out of the benefits. But I hope that everybody takes advantage of what we have to offer. But I do think it'll be really helpful to recruit new talent as well, to be able to say that, like, we're one location, we have 30 employees, but we can offer you this because it is important to us.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, as a business owner, right, like, I have shitty benefits. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully we'll see. I think there's a lot more to obviously meeting your needs financially, and health wise. Those benefits are really important, but there's a lot more to happiness and job satisfaction than just those two things.
Oh, for sure.
Which is, like, also what we try to focus on.
Yeah.
As well. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the benefits thing is great. A lot of people talked about it, especially a few months ago.
Yeah.
And, why is it so hard to find staff right now in restaurants? And it still is hard. I mean, there's definitely, like, working with clients that are posting that they're hiring and seeing the applicants that they're getting, submissions for today versus over the summer is completely different.
Yeah.
Over the summer you might see one or two. Now
Right.
you're getting like 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But and everybody just wanted to blame laziness on the workers and the unemployment money that everybody was they were getting and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think that was necessarily it.
I don't think so at all. I mean, we're business people.
Right.
When you look at the bottom line, you're going to choose which is more profitable.
Yeah.
So if it was more profitable for people to stay at home, they were going to do that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have to offer them
Something else.
more.
Right. More than the government. Yeah.
So, and I do think that a lot of people left the industry
Yeah.
because it's very grueling.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that business people's minds, restaurant owners' minds have changed.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get people to change their mind. I
Yeah,
think.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody who works for a local restaurant, and they're just doing like part-time, like seasonal work. And I said, well, when you're done with the seasonal stuff, I need somebody part-time, so let me know. And they said, the only thing is they're paying me really well. I was like, oh, really? What are they paying you? It was like $13.50 an hour. And I was like, ooh, that's really well. It's like, that's awful. Like,
Oh my God. Yeah.
what do you do? Like, how are you surviving?
Yeah.
I mean, if I broke down what I pay myself now doing this full time versus the amount of hours I put in, I probably make about $5 an hour, but still
Literally same.
right.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
So when they said that, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I was planning on paying you way more than that.
Yeah. But okay.
I think, there's definitely Central New York does have, and I'm sure it's this case, like if we go to Rochester or Buffalo, like they definitely have more innovative restaurants and businesses and concepts that work out there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's still just as many old school, stuck in the mud, owners out there. But yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of stuff out here that's still just so far behind.
Yeah,
And that
I think
mindset
so.
is one of them.
What?
That mindset is one of them.
Yes. Yeah. My boyfriend's brother actually works in the industry in Rochester, and he's like, every time I come home, it's like we're 2 years behind Rochester, and it's an hour away.
And Rochester is 5 years behind New York City. Right?
Yeah. So I do think it's the size of the city, but I do think it's the mindset of, I mean, I remember when we started charging the credit card fee or whatever, people like flipped out. They totally like they couldn't grasp the concept of it, which I understand both perspectives, but at the end of the day, it allowed me to take better care of my employees and give raises, so I don't regret it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's like ideas like that this is the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
That is very popular in this area.
I just I had breakfast with Bud and this owner this morning, and Bud was talking to him about all the stuff that Bud does, and one of the things was credit card processing. And Bud pulled out the list of 100 restaurants that are now charging the credit card fee.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just become, a normal thing nowadays.
Yeah. We just brought on a couple new people for the front of the house, and they expressed their discomfort with
charging that.
Yeah. I get it. And then we were thinking back to when we first started doing it, that we had to print out a list.
Yeah.
Because guests were like, nobody's doing that.
Right.
And we had to be like, here's the list of the other restaurants. And there was like 20 on there or whatever. But yeah, I think that it's just even like, I think on average for us, it's like $1.15 per check or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's low.
Yeah, for sure.
But just to change that mindset for people took like way longer than it should have.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the cost of everything is going up, and going out to eat now is more expensive than it, has ever been. And so I think it'll be interesting. I mean, I've been talking about the recession that's going to hit for the last 10 years, and I've been wrong. But I still have hope that something's going to happen. But I think it'll be interesting to see what does happen, especially after the holidays. It's going into like the dark stages of owning a restaurant. The slow time. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, what do you think is going to be new and exciting in the restaurant industry in Syracuse?
What, besides my new place?
Besides your new place, which I don't think you would have talked about, right? Just that there is a new place coming.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, the concept isn't finalized yet.
Yeah.
Just because the building is fucking so old that we're like in the middle of demo right now. The interior, and like every day I get a text that's like, oh, there's some like new thing that I have to like decide on. So, but I don't really know. I mean, I think
What would you want to see different?
in the restaurant industry in Syracuse.
Yeah, like if you could snap your, let's even just say today, if you could snap your fingers and change one thing industry wide in Syracuse inside local restaurants, what would you want to see differently?
Oh my God, that's kind of hard.
I can tell you what my one thing would
Oh
be.
yeah, what's your one thing?
Letter grades on the windows of their health inspection.
Interesting.
That's one thing I desperately want to see.
Huh.
You know, like New York City and
Yeah.
Los Angeles does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you say that because the health and
No,
the health
I did not say
was
that,
just
yeah.
at my restaurant as I was leaving?
No, but there's so many, like,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot. Like, I won't drink tap beer out at most places unless I know that they have their lines cleaned. And I was
Oh my God, interesting. Wait, do not a lot of places clean their lines
No, they don't.
at all?
Not at all.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We get ours twice a month, maybe.
Wow. Yeah.
Once a month.
Yeah,
Twice a
usually
month.
it's like once a month.
Yeah.
There's a great
Oh my God, I have no
company,
idea.
Draft something New York. I don't fucking know.
We use draft cleaning of
Yes,
CNY.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's great.
Kevin. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God,
think
how do I not remember his name?
If I don't know that or see like their placard or something, I won't get a draft beer. Because you can get fucking sick from that stuff. But I was just talking to somebody
Yeah.
and they were saying, I agree with you. This is what they said. They said, I agree with you on that, but I won't get a soda because they never drink, like whoever cleans their soda lines. And you never would think to, right? Like your draft Coke.
Yeah.
And so I've asked a couple owners since then. They were like, no, our like brown carbonic. They're like, they'll do it if we ask them to.
Yeah.
They'll
That's
come
who
out
we
and
have.
do it. But it's not like draft lines where it's like once a month it gets done.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God, interesting.
so anyway,
I'm going to go clean mine.
yeah. But I know of a restaurant in town who had their health inspection was so bad that they were told to shut down, and they were still open that night serving dinner. So I know this because they're a client.
Oh my God.
And so that's why I would love to see the letter grade,
Yeah.
posted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I forget that they do that in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, yeah.
It only stands to really benefit the places. Like, I've been in so many kitchens and restaurants, and a lot of them are dirty. There's a
Yeah.
few of them that are really clean. Yours,
Ours is small.
Yeah.
I feel like our storage, we have a lot of storage in there, but it's
Yeah.
clean. Like
Yeah.
they clean it.
most small places are the worst that I see. The brasserie is extremely clean.
Yeah.
Most places I'm like, you could, slide across the floor,
Oh,
and
God.
not the case at the brasserie.
Yeah.
The fish fryer has always been really clean. Kasai has always been really clean.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are just filthy.
Oh my God, interesting. I never thought about that.
I know.
I feel like I don't go out a lot. I'm like boring. I just went to the cider mill though last week. It was so good.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
been there in a while. Yeah.
It was good. I got the pork chop. Yeah, I don't think I have. I guess I would like to see. I know what I have now. I'm saying
Yeah.
is like taking advantage of the winter months better.
Okay.
Like I feel like I've lived in Syracuse for 29 years,
Yeah.
and like between January and March,
Right.
people are like shut down.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, in other places of the world, they like throw their 2-year-old like in the snow to like get used to it. Like I feel like we could take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Where do they throw 2-year-olds in the snow?
I swear to God, in like Finland and
okay.
like, yeah, that they're like somewhere. I remember
weird.
seeing this, of course, I'm sure it's on Facebook, so it's probably false, but I feel like when I lived in London for a while, I lived there during the cold months, and they like don't shut down. People just adjust.
Yeah.
And like even in New York and stuff like that, I feel like we need to kind of take advantage of those months because like, yes, of course it's cold out, whatever, but we've been dealing with it for our whole lives. So
Yeah.
I don't know how we would do it, but like some creative
Right.
thinking. I remember Rise and Shine. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that like really nice outdoor patio. Like that was really cool. So like kind of more stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a ton of outdoor things I wish existed in Syracuse that exist in warmer climates, not like LA, like Cincinnati, that still gets extremely cold in the wintertime. They just don't have 100 inches of snow. Yeah. But just like outdoor food courts or, something.
Yeah.
I wish that we took better advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Thinking of things that happen. And I know like we're going to go to the Cny Beer Fest coming up at the fairgrounds in February.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. But there really isn't anything that happens.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, so I was just talking to Jeff Rogers because I'm doing Baldwinsville Dining Weeks again this year. And we're actually...
Oh my God, am I going to do that this year for Camillus? Did we do it last year or did it get canceled?
No, we did it last year.
Oh. Well, I better talk to the chamber.
Yeah.
So, anyway, sorry.
No, we're planning theirs now. We're actually doing it early. We're doing it in January, the 3 weeks before leading up to Valentine's Day. Because our thought was Valentine's Day weekend is going to be crushed. Yeah. And January's slow. Yeah. And a shit ton of people go out for dining weeks.
That's a good idea.
So let's start it earlier this year to it gives restaurants like maybe a week and a half of, additional dead time. Yeah. Before they would be leading up to dining weeks.
I think at Baldwinsville, the businesses are really involved, which is cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Camillus is a little different.
They're all in a text group, he was telling me, and if one of them has like a health inspector show up, they text the whole group and say, hey, they're here right now.
I think that's how Tip Hill used to be when my dad was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you take care of your neighbors. I really like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah. I think it should be that way.
Yeah.
We're going to start, we have the email group now for the restaurant owners that are on the Eat Local card. And I'm going to start, we've been sending out like some mass messages to them, but we're going to start promoting like other restaurants to the group. So,
oh, cool.
Like I think we're going to start with breweries and just say, hey, if you're looking for local beer, here's the breweries that are on the card. Yeah. Consider them next time.
That's cool.
Here's the bakeries. Here's the coffee shops.
That's awesome.
And just doing that to kind of like help them all support. And now we've got people around the state, so it's kind of cool for them to see what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I want to amend my answer to the letter thing.
Okay.
If I could change one thing about the restaurant industry, it would be, maybe it's not like, I wish that not as many of them relied on social media. The more that I'm like, did you see the article that came out about that cosmetic company Lush over Black Friday, Cyber Monday?
Oh, okay, wait. They like turned off all their social media or something.
They deleted all their accounts.
Why did they do that?
Because of their conviction over what Facebook does to, spreading misinformation and stealing people's, stuff. Yeah. Oh. And I wish more companies would do. I wish that I had a creative, cost-effective way for restaurants to advertise outside of social media, and unfortunately, nothing exists. No, because the print, the radio, the TV, the billboards, they don't work as well. Yeah, and they're extremely overpriced. Yeah, but
I think about myself. I don't ever listen to the radio because I listen to Spotify. Yeah. I watch like Hulu and
Right.
Sling TV,
You
so I don't
probably-
ever see
You
commercials.
probably pay for the no commercials on them, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. The billboards, those are just outrageously expensive. I
Yeah.
feel like social media is the most cost-effective
Yeah.
thing, but it's so saturated that I'm like,
Right.
you have to just saturate it even more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, they've done study, like they've been searching this stuff out. And like one of the things was the top 20 Christian Facebook pages in the world. Of those 20, 19 of them are run by Eastern European troll farms.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So the top 20 most popular, most engaging, most likes, all that kind of stuff. The top 20 most popular Facebook pages on Facebook, 19 of them are run by Eastern European troll farms. Meaning they're just using it to spread misinformation,
oh my God.
There were troll farms especially during the height of like the George Floyd protest and Black Lives Matter stuff, that a troll farm would start a right-winged Facebook group in Minneapolis and then also start a left-wing Facebook group in Minneapolis.
That's crazy.
And what they would do is they would like post all this crazy stuff and get all these followers and get all this engagement. And then they would schedule a meetup for either group that they would meet across the street from one another.
Shut the fuck up, really?
Or what they would do is another thing they would do is they would post all this pro-Trump stuff, like the crazy, ridiculous things.
Yeah.
And then they would build this mass following and then shift to change the name of the group and change what they posted to like Black Lives Matter positive stuff. Or they would do it the opposite way. They would build this massive Black Lives Matter Facebook group and then build this huge following and then change it to a pro-Trump group.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there's just so much. And not only that, but then like you think of...
There's so much wrong with social media.
Yeah. I mean, just think of like the way that it affects... I don't know if you're like me, but like I'll get on there. I find myself my average screen time on my phone is 8 hours a day.
Mine's like 4, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a third of that is me just scrolling,
Yeah.
not doing anything work related.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
No, it's not. I think, like from a personal standpoint, I feel like it's very not healthy when you like compare yourself to other things or like different expectations or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy because it's now like embedded into people's minds on how they like decide things or like receive their information or it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just scroll endlessly sometimes too, like because I'm trying to figure out TikTok because I'm old. I'll like scroll. Have you ever got the thing where it's like, you've been scrolling for, it's like the guy and he's like, and I'm just like, shut up. And I like go look by it. But I'm like, oh my God, I've literally been on here for like 2 hours. Like, what am I doing with my life?
In China, if you are a registered user under a certain age, every like 3 videos that you scroll on TikTok or whatever platform, you have to sit through a 60-second educational video.
Interesting.
So if you're scrolling past like, babes and, dances and all that stuff, you will then have to sit through, I think it's 60 seconds, something that's like, math for fun or engineering or whatever,
I did notice that with my sons because I've been not feeling great. The TV's been on. I'm like, just fucking watch this. And like, it'll be like Mickey Mouse. It'll be like stretch break. And they like make them get up. And like my son's over there like.
That's amazing.
But
yeah.
Oh my God, interesting. I kind of think that that's cool though for the
I
TikTok.
think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to do about any of those things.
I know. What can you do? I mean, I think that we try to take like in-house advertising and education. Like I think for customers is what we try to like to take advantage of and make sure our staff is like educated on what's going on. But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like social media is just
Yeah, it's crazy.
infiltrated business in ways that
for sure. Yeah.
you can't even figure out.
I was talking to a friend yesterday who she works for a marketing agency, like a national one, and they've never done Facebook ads. And so I did like a Zoom meeting with her yesterday because they work with a couple big, like 100+ chain businesses that now want to start doing Facebook ads. And so they were asking for like help on how to do it and all that kind of stuff. And she was telling me like, yeah, each of the 100 locations has a budget of like $50 a month for these ads. And I was like, ooh, it's like, that's not enough.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do anything with $50 a month.
Yeah.
Like you can waste $50, but you can't get results with that,
Yeah.
So it is interesting. I mean, I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and how so much has changed in the local restaurant scene in terms of social. I mean, when I started, I didn't, nobody was running ads in the area. And, now so many people are running ads in the area,
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we had popularity with our emails
Yeah.
like a couple years ago, but now people don't care about those anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just tough.
Yeah.
The market is just, I think it's crazy too, because now with the popularity of social media and the pandemic, I think
Yeah.
a lot of people have started, like, at least in my like circles,
Right.
started like at home businesses.
Yes.
That they do.
A lot of them.
Which, like, good for you. That's cool. But like, that's like a lot of what my feed is that
Yeah.
like moms who like make earrings or something.
I've seen a lot of earring companies. pop
Yes.
up. Yeah.
Yes. Which is cool because I buy a lot of earrings. So I'm like,
Yeah.
but so I think that as like almost like a brick and mortar
Yeah.
shop, I guess,
Right.
to compete with
For sure.
people whose complete full brand is online and they
Yeah.
dedicate like all of their time to like making reels and making TikToks and content.
Right.
You can't compete with that.
Not at all. It
'Cause
reminds
you have to like serve people in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In like 2007, I went to school for sound engineering, and it was right when digital recording was really getting big. So like, you could record a band on your computer.
Oh my God. Okay.
Up until then, you couldn't do that. You had to, if you were a local band, you had to go rent space out at a local recording studio.
Oh,
It would
okay.
cost you maybe $3-4 to go in there and do like
Wait, really?
to go in there and like record a 4 or 5 song EP.
2007 doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was
yeah.
literally like
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay. So
I know I'm old. But when I was in school, we were learning the digital side of it. And, one of the big things were these sound engineers that were working at a local studio were now competing with people who had just set up a recording studio in their garage
yeah.
and who were charging like $300 for that
Right.
same EP.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel, especially during the pandemic with how many people were doing like home baking and the charcuterie boards and the fucking hot cocoa bombs. And
Yes, yeah.
all that is they had such an unfair advantage because they were illegal and they had no overhead.
I know. I see some people post that they like cook for people out of their home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not legal.
No, it's not
Like,
at all.
you cannot sell that.
Right.
But okay.
Yeah. There's a few places that still do it that do drops offs at local restaurants.
What?
Yeah, I won't say the name, but there's a place because I bought bread from them. But there's a place where they bake really amazing sourdough bread, and then you pre-order it on like a Monday, and then they deliver on a Wednesday to the spot, to the restaurant, and you show up and pick it up. But it's
my
super, illegal. So,
Yeah, you can't do that.
I mean, you can, but
You can't. I mean, like, obviously. And then sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish, like, please, I want to, like, you take advantage of,
Right.
like, these, like, people that cook food. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want you to prep all my food for
Right.
me at my house. But I'm like, no, that's,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
No.
Like, because I know this side of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you sanitize your kitchen if you have kids. You don't. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, imagine if you could send a cook home with a bag of onions and say, come back tomorrow.
Yeah, this is your homework. Please cut this at home and bring it back.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's the social media, the whole trying to differentiate yourself.
Unfortunately, nothing's going to change with that. We're going to get more immersed in it. I mean, as VR becomes more popular and higher quality and more accessible.
Oh my God, someone just said that to me the other day.
Yeah.
She was like, pretty soon. What did she say? She's like, pretty soon we'll be sitting at home drinking a beer at the Brasserie with our goggles on.
Oh, for sure.
Or something. And I was like, what?
You could do that. I mean, listen, we could do that today if,
That's crazy to me. Yeah. I don't feel like that. Like, yes, sometimes I would prefer to stay in my pajamas, but like sort of socialize.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel like you're ever going to be.
It's going to get there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you want to go sit at a bar? Maybe it's different though, because I'm a bar person. Like I grew up like at like 4 years old, I was like in the Nibsy's kitchen while my dad cooked. Like I'm a bar baby.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to not go to bars.
Right.
But maybe.
I mean, look at all those like Zoom meeting, pick up this meal kit and bring it home. Things that happened during COVID, which those were a great idea. That was a great concept.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, right now you could go pick up the Ray-Bans Facebook glasses, wear those, and it records in 15-second increments, but it records videos of just on your eyes, whatever you're seeing. And
oh my God, ew, I hate that.
They're like $300. And you could go and record different clips like that and, stream them together and then upload them. And people who have the VR goggles, which a lot of fucking people have them, could experience that in VR.
Like what you did?
Yeah.
So like I could go cook on the line.
Yes.
And then somebody could pretend that they were doing what I was doing.
Yes, for sure.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
Yeah. A plot of land in the metaverse, in the virtual reality does not exist metaverse, just sold for like $2 million.
That's so weird. I don't get it. I don't. This is when I start to freak out that I'm old.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't, the words that you just said, I don't know what they mean. Like the metaverse, what is that? Don't know.
Yeah. It's basically
like, I can't
virtual
care.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, interesting.
Yeah.
To have $2 million to just buy like fake land, I don't get it.
Yeah. It's nuts. People are buying a lot right now for investments,
Oh, because they like see in the long term that it's going to be worth something.
I can see NFTs becoming really big in our area, like soon,
What does that mean?
An NFT is a non-fungible token. So basically, it's
not real money.
An NFT is a digital image of something that you purchase. And it's encrypted in the blockchain, so that you are whoever has it is the owner.
Gotcha.
But
that's kind of how money is, anyways. It's just like numbers that go to different bank accounts. Yeah. Okay.
But an NFT is more. Most of them carry with them physical things. So, like, for example, like Gary Vaynerchuk sold a shit ton of NFTs, and if you bought this NFT from him, then whoever the owner is of it, whoever owns that NFT, gets to attend some big conference that he throws once a year.
Oh, interesting.
And so you have this digital asset that could appreciate in value, and it's like an investment, but then you can also redeem it for physical worldly things. So
do you think like it's going to get to the point where businesses have their own NFTs?
I think so. Like I've been thinking about doing it for Eat Local New York, and it would be probably a year or two away, but before like people around here got it. But we would create NFTs and sell them, and whoever has that would get access to some like rager that we would throw.
Interesting.
Or get to come to like, a podcast show that we do once a year, whatever.
Interesting.
Whoever owns it gets a free Eat Local card and a private dinner,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But they could sell it.
They could sell it. There is a guy, there's a very, like, I forget his name, but he's like the most popular NFT artist. And his NFT, I think it sold for like 100 million.
Interesting.
But in the details of it, whoever owns it and sells it, the artist gets like 20% of that transaction forever.
Oh.
So he sold the NFT for like 100 million to you. If you sell it for 200 million, he gets 20% of your profits.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. As the artist. Yeah. But, you know, so there could be some cool, I think, you know, eventually it's going to be oversaturated. It's going to be local places going to be trying to figure it out.
Yeah. People like me are going to be like, I don't even know what NFT stands for, but Brasserie's got it.
I mean, I would have thought voice would be a big deal for local restaurants to like invest in some sort of a voice application. So somebody could say on their Alexa at their home, hey, order chicken riggies from the Brasserie. I'll pick it up in 30 minutes. Oh. And it would just go through and place the order and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
I mean, I won't say voice is dead, but it's definitely too saturated and never really picked up. It might like be really popular in a year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't ever use that. I don't have an Alexa though.
Okay.
Like at my house.
Well, like
I have
even
Siri.
your iPhone. Yeah, you could do it with that too.
But I usually see, I'm old. You're making me feel old because I don't use it for anything then set a timer for timeout for Elijah for 3 minutes. That's what I do. Like when it goes off, you can talk to me again.
I do it with my car a lot with Apple CarPlay. Call and text.
I guess I do that too. Yeah,
I
do. Yeah. I text people for that though.
Right.
But they don't ever understand what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah. I must not be clear. I don't, when I talk though, sometimes I like don't finish my thoughts.
Yeah.
Like I start talking and just don't know where I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
Very
There's
Michael Scott.
There's a few times I'll be doing voice to text in the car and I'll be like saying something like, just fuck, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they put that in the text and yeah.
Exactly. Well, this podcast didn't go any way that I thought it was going to go.
I know.
Which I'm fine with. I had a great time. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We talked about restaurants for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I thought it was a fun conversation.
Yeah, I wish I was not as stuffy. I would have had some bourbon, which probably would have helped me, though.
Yeah, I know. I've got some Q's juice if you want to try that before you leave.
I actually might because I never had it before.
I haven't.
Isn't it like you haven't opened it?
I've never opened it.
Isn't it like the last, like they don't make it anymore?
No, they don't. It's the same thing, but a different name, different label. I should do like a big video where I open it. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chug it.
Yeah, that'd be. No, I'm not gonna do that. But
I think we should chug it and then record another podcast.
Well, Michelle, thank you.
Thank you very much.